Oh, hi there. Thanks so much for showing up for your learning. It's Mr. Jennings, and we are looking at the Unit 1 formative test. So the purpose of this video is to help you know all of the skills that we are looking at in this unit and to prepare as best you can for the evaluation. So try the questions first, of course. Use the video to get unstuck. If I show you something that gets you unstuck, pause the video and then continue working on the question yourself so that you get the pleasure of pushing it into the end zone. Okay, here we have been asked to simplify. Simplify means reduce the complexity. Okay, so anyway, we're going to assemble these things as best we can. My first line would look like this. I would just copy that first bracket. Those brackets don't do nothing. So 4x squared plus 6x minus 7. But then this minus has to distribute into that bracket. It's going to swap the sign of all of the things over there. So we will end up with plus 5x squared plus 10x, that should be plus, and minus 1. Now we assemble all of that. Minus 4x squared plus 5x squared is just x squared. There's just one of them. 6 plus 10 is plus 16x. And minus 7 minus 1 is minus 8. And that's done. That's finished. Okay, how about over here? Yeah, don't mind if I do. Okay, so here we have 3x squared plus 8x minus 5. Nothing to do there. But then we have minus 3 of this thing. Minus 3 of those. So this minus 3 has to distribute in. Let's see what we get. We get this is equal to 3x squared plus 8x minus 5. They're waiting around. They're joining the party later. Minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 12. Okay, so that's after I distribute this. Minus 3. Notice I'm distributing the minus 3. And then I combine them. 3x squared minus 3x squared is nothing. 8x minus 6x is 2x. And minus 5 plus 12 is plus 7. Done, final answer. This was also final answer. So that's that. Let's move on to question 2. This asks us to solve these equations. Why did I give us so little space, I wonder? Anyhow, what I'm going to do here is first simplify. So I'm going to simplify this like that. So I will have 8x minus 12 minus 4x minus 1. And over here I have 3x minus 5. And then I simplify again. 3x minus 5 equals, we have a total of 4x over there. And then minus 12 minus 1 is minus 13. Okay, now, and only now, do I get out my inverse operations pen. And I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And I'm going to add 13 to both sides. That's going to get all my x's to one side and all my numbers to the other side. Then I get the beautiful line coming up next. 5 minus 5 plus 13 is 8 on that side of the equation. This is 0, it's gone. And 4x minus 3x is x. So x equals 8, and we're done. We are done. Okay, now how about this one? Oh my goodness, the fractions showed up. Oh man, well I know something about the numbers 4 and 5, these numbers, that if I multiplied them together, I'd get 20. That's what I know. That's also their lowest common multiple, so if you want to be real efficient about this, you can use the lowest common multiple of these things. But to simplify this, I'm going to multiply both sides by 20. Okay? That way I get 20 times 3x on 5, that's 12x. 20 times 3 on 5x. Okay, 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 20 times 37, but negative, is going to be negative. Well, let's work that one out, okay? 20 multiplied by 37 on 4. Well, that's tricky, but we do 20 divided by 4, that's 5. And now 5 times 37. 5 times 37 is 185. So that's going to be minus 185. Tricky, I know. It's kind of blue square black diamond here. It's black diamond. Okay, and then we're going to multiply the 20 in here. So that's going to be negative 15x for the same reasons as over here. 20 times 3/4 x, but it's negative. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times minus 3 is minus 15. And then a fifth of 20 is, you guessed it, 4. All right. So now we're going to add 15x to both sides. That gives us 27x is equal to, let's add 185 to both sides. And that gives us a 189. Gosh, what's going on? I hope it works. Okay, and then we divide both sides by 27. What is 189 divided by 27? This will give us the beautiful line x is equal to, you think, who made this question? Divide 9 into it, it's 21. 7. Goes in 7 times. Okay, so that's the answer. That's how you do it. Yeah, this is black diamond. Okay, fine, that's black diamond. All right, now, let's take a look at question 3. We've been given two functions, that function and that function. And we're going to find out what those functions do when we do certain inputs. So f at 7 is equal to, well, 3 multiplied by 7 minus 5. That's the same thing as 21 minus 5. That's the same thing as 16, everybody, 16. So there it is. F at 7 equals 16. That's your final answer there. Green circle for sure. Okay, now here, g at minus 2. We are going to look at 5 multiplied by minus 2 squared minus 9 times minus 2 plus 15. Okay, minus 2 squared is 4, so we're 5 times 4 there. And then minus 9 times minus 2 is plus 18, plus 15, because that 15 is still there. So we're 20 plus 18 plus 15, 20 plus 33. That's 53, folks. So that is to say g at minus 2 is 53. We know this now. What about g of x minus f of x? Well, that would be equal to, I'm going to do this in another color because we're running out of space for the colors, or for the work. So I'm going to do g of x is 5x squared minus 9x plus 15 minus f of x. F of x is, put it in brackets because it makes a difference, 3x minus 5. And then we're going to say, well, that's 5x squared. There's nothing there for that 5x squared to interact with, but the minus 9x minus another 3x is minus 12x. And 15 minus minus 5 is 20. Because minus minus 5 is plus 5. It can only be minus or plus, so minus minus is plus. All right, let's go. Let's take a look. What is 3f of x plus g of x? Well, I don't know. If you know, you better tell me. But I'm going to figure it out. 3 times f of x is 3x minus 5 plus g of x, well, that's just 5x squared minus 9x plus 15. And then we do this distribution. So that gives us 9x minus 15 plus 5x squared. Oh, Mr. Jennings, you joker. Minus 9x plus 15. Look at that. It's just 5x squared. That's it, done, final answer. Here, f at g at minus 2. This is to say, take the output of g at minus 2 and find the and use it as an input for f of x. There's a shortcut available here. It's that we already worked out g at minus 2. So this is the same thing as f at 53, which is the same thing as 3 times 53 minus 5. Oops, that's an extra bracket that doesn't connect to another bracket. So 3 times 53 is 159 minus 5 is 154. Done, final answer. It's more complicated if I actually like put all of this in here.
All right, CCI, this is
Scary.
your 7.5 minute warning to get to class.
I'm not going to do it that way.
7.5 minutes, one song. Don't normally play hip hop on a Tuesday, but I'm going to play a double shot of one of Canada's best MCs.
Tell me it's chaos.
It's the Maestro Fresh West.
Oh.
This is Drop the Needle. Let's go, CCI. Hustle, hustle.
G at f of x. Oh my goodness. Well, that's going to be this. But with this, everywhere you see x. Okay, so here's g of x. 5 at, then we put x there, squared, minus 9 times x plus 15. Okay, you'll recognize that from g of x. But then for x, this is saying put f of x there, please, which is 3x minus 5, 3x minus 5. Okay? Should have done this in another color. I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch colors in midstream. Okay, so here we've got 5 times 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. Subtract, well, let's just distribute this in. 9 times 3x is 27x. And negative 9 times negative 5 is plus 45 plus 15. Okay. Now we've got to do, I would definitely do this multiplication first. It's going to make our lives easier. And that's what I hope to do, is make your life super easy using the power of math. So we've got 9x squared, 3x, that's this. And then we do 3x times minus 5, that's minus 15x. Minus 5 times 3, that's minus 15x. And minus 5 times minus 5 is plus 25. And we're going to simplify all that, so that's minus 27x plus 60. Oh, my son and I talked about that on the chairlift yesterday. What's 4 15s? Okay, so let's keep going. All right, let's collect those like terms. This is 5 times 9x squared minus 30x plus 25, and the bracket, nothing out there left to be done, 27x plus 60. And then we're distributing. This is 45x squared minus 150x plus 125. That's after I do this, okay? And I multiply the 5 by all those things. Still minus 27x plus 60. Final simplification, we're done now. 45x squared minus 177x plus 185. Done, final answer. Definitely black diamond here. This was a black diamond question. Okay, I'm going to be back in just a moment. Where's my controls? And we're back, everyone. And you're all here. It's so great. I love it that you're all here. Well, about 70% of you. Well, what is 22 on 31? I don't know. I can't really do that in my head. But anyway, okay. Now, question 4. All right. So this is the, can you tell me the domain and range? And can you tell me if the relation is a function or not? Okay. Oh, man. There should be some that are equation-based. So I will build some of those for you shortly and give you some extra practice. But for now, this is fine. So here, if I'm talking about the domain of this, that's going to be a set of x values, and they are all integers. I'm noticing that all the values of x are on like integer points here. And then I just like list them after this bar here. So that could be as small as minus 2, 1, 2, 3, and 5. Minus 2, 1, 2, 3, and 5. The fact that this one shows up twice doesn't matter. I don't need to double list it. Okay, I don't need to say 3, 3, and 5. You're just giving someone a set of instructions saying, what values of x can you input into this function? The range refers to the range of y values. So it's vertical. And we use our curly brackets. Y is still integers here. such that, well, we go with the smallest is -4, -2, 1, 4, 5. -4, -2, no need to double list, 1, 4, and 5. Just a set of instructions to someone saying, what values can I expect this function to output? Now, we're going to say, no, it's not a function. And we've been asked to explain. And I would say, no, it's not a function because it's usually SE, not ES. Oh, my goodness. Because, let's say, it fails the vertical line test is one way of explaining it. Look, there's a vertical line that I can draw here that passes through 2 points. So it's not a function. So that's one way of saying it. It fails the vertical line test. The other way is to say the input 3 has 2 distinct outputs. So it is not a function. That's how you would explain that. Okay. This one here, number B. Check it out. It can go all the way to negative infinity that way, and all the way to positive infinity that way. So the domain, which refers to all of the x values that this can have, is just x is all real numbers. It's all the points in between the points. It's all of them. On the other hand, the range has a limitation. This looks like a quadratic to me. And I'm thinking y is still all real numbers, but it's all these values that are greater than 1. Okay, that's the value 1 right there. So this has a vertex at 2, 1. It's actually a minimum value, and then it goes back up again. So that is to say 1 is less than or equal to y. All of the y values are greater than or equal to 1. So it's all just like y is always bigger. And that's how we show that. 1 is less than or equal to y. Okay, that's very good. Let's go. Okay, oh, right. Is it a function? Yes. This one is a function. It's a quadratic function. It passes the vertical line test. Doesn't matter where I draw a vertical line with this one. If I draw a vertical line there, it's only hitting it at 1 point. If I draw it there, it's only hitting at 1 point. Okay? So because vertical lines only hit the function at 1 point, every input, every x value has a unique output, a unique result in the y. I'll help you in a minute. Okay. See this one. Okay, see this one. Here's the point 1, 2. Oh, we just reflected that one through the line y equals x. Very tricky. Okay, so this one, the domain is limited. X is all these values out to positive infinity. So then we would say x is of the reals, and 1 is less than or equal to x. Okay. And then y is all real numbers. See, it can go up there to infinity and down there to negative infinity. So y can be literally any value. So we're done with y. No, that's not a function. It fails vertical line test. Okay. Next, this one. Okay. First of all, I'm noticing the value x is -2 has 2 distinct outputs. So it's not a function. I would say x is of the integers here, and we have -2, -1, 0 are our values of x. Y is of the integers, and we have 1, 0, and 4, and then know the value x equals -2 has two distinct outputs. So it is no function. What? My brain did something different. Function. Oh, gross. Okay. Next, I might give you a function like this and ask you to tell me what the vertex is, its direction of opening, its step pattern. Does it have a maximum or minimum? What is the value of the maximum or minimum? And what is the equation of the axis of symmetry? So if I look at this one here, look, it's already in vertex form. So that's -2. This piece of information tells me it opens downwards. It's going to do this. Okay. The vertex is going to be at 5, 0. How does he know these things? How do I know? Well, here I'm looking at y equals a x minus h all squared plus k, where hk gives me the value of the vertex. This one doesn't have a k value, meaning it's 0. Okay, and h is 5. See, -5. But this is minus h, it's sign flipper. So that's how I know it's a vertex. Because it opens downwards, here's a quick sketch of this one. It has its vertex at 5, 0, and it opens down like this and like this. So that's what it looks like. That's its maximum value. And the maximum value is 0. That's as high as it ever gets, 0. Just comes up. It's like a, I don't know, a dolphin drinking a little bit of air and then diving back down underwater. Okay, and then what's the axis of symmetry? Well, that's at the line x equals 5. If I draw the line x equals 5, it would cut this parabola in half, right through the vertex. Okay, and what's the step pattern? I seem to remember that has to do with -2. So I take -2 and multiply it by these odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, to get -2, -6, -10. That's what we're talking about with step pattern. -2, -6, -10 is our step pattern. How about this one? This one here has a vertex at 0, -8. Okay, this one is also in this form, but h happens to be 0, and k happens to be -8. So that's how I know that's that's there. Because this is positive, it opens upwards. Its step pattern is just 1, 3, 5, because this is the number 1. It's this invisible 1. It has a minimum value because it's opening upwards. And the minimum value is -8. Here's a sketch. It's down there at 0, -8. It goes up this way and up this way. And the axis of symmetry is on the line x equals 0. The y-axis is the axis of symmetry for that one. So that's how you would, using your knowledge of vertex form, unpack some of those equations. Okay, 2 more pages. Should be done quick. All right, we have a relation. Well, I'm telling you it's a relation, but it happens to be a function. Okay, and it is f of x is equal to -2x plus 3 squared plus 4. Okay, so now we are describing the transformations that have been performed in words. Okay, first we're going to do this. First, a equals -2 means that we stretch the function vertically by a factor 2, then reflect it in the x-axis. Okay. Second, h equals -3 means move 3 units left. Third, k equals 4 means translate 4 units up. And this word move that I gave here, I could have also said translate. But if you say I'm going to move the function, I think you're meaning like jing, 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 and a stretch is like change the shape. Okay. Reflect would do that. Reflect. Okay, and now we've been asked, using our knowledge of transformations, graph this thing. Okay, well, here is g of x is x squared, and it looks like this. Okay, this is this function, which is the one that I'm going to transform. It has these points, so I'm just going to put them on so I can better bullseye them. Okay, so that's coming down this way.
So do that first, and then we're going to solve what this would be when we input it.
All right, so that's roughly what the function looked like. And then we're gonna stretch it by 2 and reflect it. So that's now going to look like down here. So now this one, see, I flip it and stretch it. This one I stretch it down there. This one over here at 4 is going to double. It's going to go down to -8 down there. So that's taking care of the a value -2. You could also just use your step pattern or something like that to get that idea. And then we're going to move it 3 units left and 4 units up. So the vertex is going to go from here, 3, and then up 4. So we're going to start up there. I'll do this in yet another color. We'll go green. All right, so it's now going down like this. So that's over 1 down 2, over 1 down 6. So that's at -4, like that. And it's going to be down another 10, so it's somewhere in there. And then this is symmetrical, so it's going to be there. And then 1 -4, so there. Something like that. So this function here is f of x. State the range of f of x. Oh, good question. Okay, so y is of the real numbers such that 4 is greater than or equal to y. I prefer writing this another way, going smallest to largest. Y is all the values less than or equal to 4. Okay? 4 is the maximum, and it's everything that's down from that. All right, I'm going to just go check in with y'all and resume in just a moment. Hi, welcome back. Let's go. So, a new roller coaster at Canada's Wonderland. It's going to go underwater and then back out of the water. It's amazing. You got to try it. You'll love it. Okay, that's you, and that's your friend, and these are all of their friends, and this is how much fun you'll have. Okay. So, what are the coordinates of the vertex? What are the coordinates of the vertex? Oh, it's right there. That's between -4 and -5. Okay, so between -4 and -5 must be, well, x is 5 and y is -4.5, let's say, because who cares? Okay, and so the coordinates are 5, -4.5, and what does that mean? This means that after 5 seconds, you are 4.5 meters underwater. Because 0 is the level of the water. So you're underwater at 5 seconds. What are the coordinates of the, yeah?
How do you find the domain of a function from the points? Like a
From
set of points.
the lowest point,
And then you're doing something else.
so -7.
Let's keep going. So, what's the coordinates of the y-intercept? It's over here at 0, 8. That means, yeah. At 0 seconds, you start the ride 8 meters in the air. So exciting. So exciting. What are the value of the zeros and what do they represent? Well, they're over here. Boop, boop, okay? 2, 0. 8, 0. The values of the zeros, 2, 0. 8, 0. And these mean that at 2 and 8 seconds, you are at the level of the water. Even better answer would be at 2 seconds, you are plunging into the water. And at 8 seconds, you are emerging from the water like a beautiful screaming dolphin. There. So that would be the better answer, is the bottom one. All right. So that's how we would approach just looking at this graph and understanding what's going on and understanding the significance of those key points like vertex, roots, and initial value or y-intercept. Let's go! Okay, so this one is a little bit more into the black diamond-y. Not the whole way through, but certainly part of it. Here's a toy rocket. It's launched here at like, that looks like 45, so I think that's 0:45. And I just as a habit, just like start annotating my graphs. That's 1:25. Okay, and then this is 9:0. Okay, so what is the maximum height the rocket will reach? 125 centimeters. Centimeters? It goes so low. Meters would be way exciting. Centimeters is so boring. Okay, how many seconds after launch will the rocket reach its maximum height? 4 seconds. Yeah. From what height was the rocket launched? 45 centimeters off of a very unexciting table. We launched this rocket. It's about 45 centimeters. No. Yeah, no. 45 centimeters like that. So it's off a little stool or something. How do I know that? Well, that's the initial value, 45 centimeters. How long will it take for the rocket to hit the ground after launch? It hits the ground there. It takes 9 seconds for this thing to barely rise to the height of my like ribs and then fall on the ground. It's like 9 seconds later. Okay, 9 seconds. I know this because that's where it lands on the ground at 9 seconds. Find an equation. So this is the black diamond bit. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we know the coordinates of the vertex are 4, 1, 25. And rather than try and figure out the step pattern here, can I do that even? Yeah, it's not bad. There. It's just there. That's 5, and it goes down to 120. So it's pretty much just minus 5 there. Minus 5 is our A value. So yeah, I can do this with step pattern. I like that. I did learn something today. Okay, so that's our vertex. So we know f of x. Or let's be more fancy. Let's be more black diamond. We'll say the height of the rocket is a function of time, and it's equal to a t minus h squared plus k, where t is my variable, time, instead of x. I'm using t. And hk is the vertex. So I now know that a times t minus 4 squared plus 125 is our equation. And now we need to solve for a. And we know that h at 9 is equal to 0. So let's use that point because it's a very convenient point. So we'll say this is h of t. And then I'm just going to write it this way. H at 0, oh no, h at 9, sorry, is equal to 0, is equal to a, I don't know that yet, times 0 minus 4 squared plus 125. It's not exactly 5. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. So 0 minus 4 is just minus 4. Minus 4 squared is 16. So we have 16a plus 125 equals 0. Subtract 125 from both sides and divide both sides by 16. And then we have found that a is the result of 125 divided by 16. Gosh, which is like, it's a little closer to 8 than it is to, yeah, it's really close to 8. It's like 8.06, something like that. I don't know. I don't want to do mental math. No one pays me enough to do mental math. That's not true, but I'm not going to. It doesn't support your learning. So who cares? Divided by 16, you're going to do this on a calculator anyway. Is 7.812. Yeah, okay. Right, it went the other way. Yeah. Minus 7. Oh, yeah, okay, so 128 would be 8. 7.81, what was it, 5? 8125. So there's our A value. So don't get it from step pattern, get it from here. And that would be the more correct of correct answers. So therefore, find an equation. We're not done yet. Therefore, h of t is given by negative 7.8125 multiplied by t minus 4 squared plus 125. That's it. That's how you do it. Maybe that was 128 there, not 125, but that's putting a little fine of a point on it. Okay? If I'm going to give you a question like this, you're going to have the points labeled so that you don't have to do this business here of, is that in between points or not? It's going to be pretty clear in the examples I give you with like one correct answer, because that's a lot easier to mark. Okay, so that is all of the skills in the formative test, otherwise known as the practice test. Thank you so much for showing up for your math learning. Any questions, hit me up by email, find me in class, see me at lunch, do the thing that you need to do, talk to your elbow buddies. They're pretty good at this stuff too. Okay, bye for now, everyone.